Like my parents are both from Grenada. They came here in the like 80s and 90s. So what he was saying about how they think that black people are lazy does like resonate with me because I've heard that a lot.
A certain way, if you just have the right degrees, if you're just kind of, distance yourself in a way from Black Americans, you'll be safe, you'll be fine. Just love everybody.
And growing up, being raised to be very proud of being Haitian American, there was also for me, as there were for many other Caribbean people or just any other, I would say, immigrant individuals from immigrant populations, this, again, what I talked about, the racial distancing, don't be like the Black Americans. That was very common that you would hear that. And it's not surprising for me to hear other people talk about when they were growing up, this idea.
Don't dare let nobody from you. They've been doing this for years. They've been saying little stuff and they've been doing this stuff for years. The lazy, oh, we're so lazy. The lazy Akata, and that's a projection. We're going to get on that lazy thing because that's what the theme is about. But let me tell y'all how deep this thing is, family. That whole denigrating of us on the low, we just started to see it within the last decade because of social media. They would say this stuff behind closed doors all the time. But because of social media, Twitter and all that stuff, and then Clubhouse, they started getting comfortable enough to say it publicly within their little group. So we started to hear it. You understand? And y'all remember, I used to play these clips all the time, warning people about how these folks would act. Saying this little weird stuff. But family, somebody found something from the Negro Digest from the 1960s. There's a book, I think it was a weekly magazine, something like that, from the 1960s called the Negro Digest. This is something from 1963, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to read this with you guys. I want y'all to see this. This is from 1963. It's a book called the Negro Digest. 63. What's that? 62 years ago? And there was an article that they had called the West Indian Syndrome. 1963. Let me see if I can show the date. Okay, let me. All right, this is from the Negro Digest. Right here. This is the cover of it. The year 1963. And this article, this was 62 years ago. This was written by, I think this guy was Trinidadian. He was West Indian himself. And shout out to him. He was exposing his fellow West Indians. He was exposing some of his anti-FBA, hating ass fellow West Indians for their negative disposition about us. Because see, at the time in New York, you had quite a few, a significant number of British English come in and kind of prioritize them. Now the Haitians, all of them, not them. The Spanish-speaking Negroes, not really. But some of the West Indians who could speak English pretty decently, or just speak English, period, who were under the British Commonwealth, which were Trinidadians, Barbados, and Jamaicans, they would let a lot of them in to a certain degree. So a lot of them were in New York. A significant number of them were in New York. And this, after 1965, when we were really fighting to get restrictions off that immigration, then we saw a real big flood of all of them come over here. A lot of them come over here. But even in 1963, I want y'all to hear what these people were saying about us. This 1963, this is the middle of the civil rights movement. While we're out here getting our brains blown out, fighting for these people and black people, welcoming people in. We're up here getting unified as foundational black Americans. I want you to hear what these tethers were saying about us in the 1960s, family. All right? Let's go through this article. To be or not be an American Negro. Some West Indians resent being called Negroes, and yet they're not accepted as white, and they are too well off to go back to the islands. All right, hold on. Hold on one second. My aunt was very happy yesterday. I hadn't seen her in a long time. She had come to America to become a citizen. Proudly, she unwrapped the letter from the governor and the mayor and showed them to me. All right, hold on. Let me skip past this. So basically, he's talking about his own family. Okay. I can never be an American U.S. citizen. She doesn't want to be considered an American Negro. As a matter of fact, she's ashamed of being an American Negro. And with this standard neurosis of the average West Indian immigrant, he or she does not want to be considered an American Negro. Subconsciously, they believe that the white man prefers them over non-American Negroes. No, prefer them as non-American Negroes. We've been saying that. In short, she wishes to be the white man's favorite N-word. And she may well be happy because she seems to be succeeding. He seems to be succeeding in humanizing himself. This is a color complex of the West Indian Negro. One who doesn't understand the white America, one who doesn't wish to understand it. The Negro who doesn't feel like he is the American to the American white with whom to associate. Not everybody born in the West Indies can be Sidney Poitier or Cleveland Rising, two of the West Indians who have entered mainstream American life. The majority were Barbados, Grenada, or any other part to degrade the American Negro. Time he found a bone. Wait. Somebody said that the man of Negro and he was originally large around the ability. Well, he was a dog bone and constantly and finding others throughout his long. Some time ago, I can whether he had become an American. He said never soon lay out the defects the American Negro particularly in the castle of his populace. They're animals, he said. They are this, they are that. I challenge his statements. He works with them. He works with them with some civil rights organization in New York. Wow. This young man is about 26 years old. He came here 3 years ago to study engineering. Now he works part-time with his. Wow. But what can he do in the interest of civil rights, buried as he is prejudiced? His father is a member of some branch of the government. All right, let me go down. He struggles. He's a black man, a Negro. So in order to retain an identity, him apart from what he considers an irresponsible mob in his closet. He says, the accent will warn you. However, that still won't be enough to show you how much he's not a part of the American dilemma. He will criticize American Negroes, even openly calling them worse. As soon as his studies are finished, he says he intends to turn to become a small black. He's like my aunt, and there are thousands of other aunts. My aunt raised a woman who's an American, a woman who has children born in America, but a woman would never be called American. If you are American, you make her an American Negro. This woman spends her time thinking so many things of the American Negro. And in an attempt to be such a generous thinker, she generally manages that those who think of any Negro. They have no morals, she said, because they don't know how to rear children. They are lazy without. We can't said the thousands of West Indians in the States, and in so little time, we have it out there. House here in New York, but they, the American Negro, why don't they tell? Hundreds of Negroes can search, but to obey a word on deaf ears. She will not rent her room to an American Negro with respects. Years ago, she sent her daughter to a predominantly white school, and she was accepted as a was. So this. Okay, so yeah, these people were doing little slick stuff back then. They would get their little apartment complexes and then Jim Crow us.
Crazy work.
They've been doing this, family. This is from 1963. They've been tethering and doing little undermining ass from day one. They've been doing, family, remember, this is in the 60s where we were out here taking bullets, fighting for them and all of us. Yeah? And a lot of this stuff is projection, by the way. Y'all give me a retweet. We're talking heavy in here tonight. Y'all give me a retweet, family. Let's get about 5,000 people in here. Give me a retweet. Listen, let me tell you something about that whole lazy talk. They love to throw that lazy jacket on foundational black Americans. Family, that lazy nonsense, that's a major, that's basically them hating. When they run around talking about how lazy we are. See, that's a lie, because we ain't got to hustle scramble like them in order to eat. we can just kick back and chill after work. Listen, foundational Black American labor built this country for free. No other group in U.S.
That's a fact.
history
That's a fact. That's a fact.
has been forced to labor without compensation for centuries, building the physical and economic foundation of America. To call us lazy after centuries of unpaid, brutal labor, that's slaveholder propaganda. And look, that whole hard-working immigrant, that's what we call survivor hustling. That's not no superior work ethic. You're not, listen, many immigrants are forced to take on multiple jobs because you're working and getting paid under the table. So you're not really making a living because you're an immigrant. A lot of times you come over illegally. So you got to scraps, living in a house with 20 people. You understand?
It's crazy work.
So you got to work 3 jobs because you're not really yet integrated into the legal economic framework. We're Black Americans. We're already legal citizens. We got generational roots here. So we got to survive.
That's a fact.
We don't have to work 10 jobs.
It's
I think the Black American has made it so that we can live a stable existence. We can just work our job, and when we go to the job, we ain't immigrants. We're going to demand a livable wage. We can unionize. We can say, hey, we got together and say, you're going to have to pay us such and such an hour. You're going to have to give us some damn benefits, some dental. Yeah, we ain't walking around here working 10 jobs with teeth and all that shit. Work them 8 hours, come home, sit and chill. That ain't laziness, that's stability. All right? That's stability, ladies and gentlemen. So when we're sitting on the porch chilling, a long day work out, so we get to relax and chill and kick it and enjoy it. While we're sitting there, they're driving back with the Uber, still working until 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, that's a you problem. That ain't us being lazy. You fled, so you got to do flee and nigga shit. All right? That's what you do when you flee. Right? You got to scrounge and scrape because you ain't got no stability. All right? Come out. Check them on that lazy talk. You know about laziness. We the homeland. All right? Lazy is running around here 225 with a dirt road and you peeing in a river. Right, that's lazy. All right? I'm not trying to, but y'all gonna keep up with these weird ass tropes. Huh? See, we can be calm and chill. American, that's a luxury that we fought for. We didn't shit. We had to work for free for centuries to build up the wealth of this nation so y'all can come flee to it. We said enough of that. We're going to have to get a livable wage, and we're going to have to be able to chill like everybody else. Foundational Black Americans paid a heavy price so our children wouldn't have to scramble just so they can exist. The fact that we can live without 3 jobs and 15 damn roommates, that's not no moral flaw. That's a testament to our generational survival and sacrifice, baby.
All right, I'm gonna have to stop it, y'all, because I'm looking at my deal. It's fucking up, and I know whoever watching it don't want to see that. It's just effing up like a mother right now. So I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna start it right back. So just bear with me and come back.